Hey guys, welcome to another review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Jedi Survivor KESTIS of the Vintage Collection line, which honestly I don't know that much about the character. I don't play the games, but the character design on this is just really cool, so I decided to pick it up. And obviously they're going for Vintage Collection, so it's a vintage style of the packaging, which is pretty cool. I know this is something that a lot of people buy the figures just for, so that they can collect it and hang it on a wall or something. So we'll take a look at the packaging here. Obviously it says Kenner down there, even though it's Hasbro now. It's just part of the retro design. And then we have the fully CGI video game character on the side there. And he looks really cool there too. So I don't know if this is the main outfit. I know there's some customizability to the game, so maybe that changes up a lot. But here's the back of the card. We get different characters from the line, and then a whole lot of this. I'm guessing this is only here for some legal reason, because there's literally, it just takes up a lot of the card, which in my opinion, it looks kind of ugly. If this weren't all covering the back here, I would like the back of the card probably a little more. So I guess he's 265 is his number, and then here's the other characters of the line. I actually have the Cassian Andor, is a pretty good figure. I see her, she's like she's got to be like the biggest shelf warmer that I've seen lately, between her and the Klatooinian Raider there. I have Obi-Wan as well. These are pretty good figures, honestly. I don't have these guys, but if they're when they go on clearance, I'll probably grab them, because they'll make good custom fodder or what have you. Gotta check out that Luke too, that looks cool. Yeah, so basic design here. It's a pretty solid card. I know they were going flimsy for a while, but these actually feel pretty thick. There's the figure displayed in the center there. Let me get some. Suddenly there is no focus. There we go. Yeah, not bad. This guy's a little droid. Looks like a lot of accessories. So we're gonna get this guy out of the package. So I know these vintage collection cards, you want to be really careful getting them out because it's collectible. So let me just, there we go. That way I can save it for later. Okay, so we're gonna pull out the guy. Alright, so let's get that pistol out of there. Got this blade, come on. I like they have redesigned their lightsabers lately, and I think they've turned out pretty good. Let's get this little droid. His hilt, and then the figure. Not bad. Alright. And there we have KESTIS. Look at that. He feels like a really solid figure. A little bit of gummy joints, which I noticed a lot of the newer, let me get a little closer here, vintage collection figures have a lot of like gummy joints, a lot of really rubbery parts. I don't know if that's a cheaper thing, if that's like cost cutting, or if that's actually supposed to be better for durability or something, but I have noticed that it makes the joints kind of wiggly. And on this guy, I don't know, it's like when you move it, it doesn't quite want to move as far as it should. I feel like it's like popping backward there. Interesting. So then let's grab his accessories here. He's got a nice little pouch there for his blaster. Fit that in. Oof, get in there. It's kind of cool. Looks like a 6-shot revolver almost. Kind of cowboy style, and he's got low slung for quick draw. Not bad there. Is there a place for his hilt? It does have a peg. There you have it. Right on that side. Not bad. That's looking cool. And then I know in the game, I'm pretty sure this thing's supposed to stick onto his shoulder or something and hang around. Doesn't look like he has anything to attach it though. So let's take a look at this little droid, because that's actually kind of neat. Pretty good sculpt on him. Looks like he's got some decent articulation too. Look at that, it's a ball jointed head. These little fins don't move. Good paint too, look at that, some silver, some red. Strong details. So ball joint makes it so you can move all the way around, quite a bit up, quite a bit down. Then these legs here, looks like they can kick all the way forward, all the way back. That's nice. And then you can just set them up there, balance them, and there you go. Now for the other accessories, let's look at this lightsaber. That's really cool. Cool gunmetal gray there, some silver. And then what they've done recently with these lightsabers, they no longer put like this, they used to have kind of like a blast effect at the bottom of it. I don't know if I have another lightsaber around to show it, but they got rid of that, made it a smooth blade all the way through. This guy, you can see there's also a little bit of metal hilt there. And then, in addition, they no longer pop out, which was a thing for a while there. So the hilt and the blade would be two separate pieces. Now they made it so that the full blade and hilt are attached, and then you get a separate hilt as well, which I prefer. So for the figure here, let's take a look. And he does have a really good likeness, in my opinion. I don't know this guy from the game as much, but I do know him from Gotham. He was a really cool Joker character. Look at that. Yeah, and he's a redhead. I guess they kind of got that down. It kind of looks a little more brown, but I don't know. Redheads kind of have like there's a whole array of hair colors that kind of classify under redhead. And luckily, my eyes on this guy are like really straight. I know that's a common problem is with this 3D printing method they do. It's like a machine painting. Sometimes it gets a little misaligned, and then you end up with an eyeball on the like eyebrow or like way below where it should be. Paints look really good on this guy, really clean. Sculpt is nice too. Look at all the folds. And what I like about this outfit is it gives me Luke vibes from Return of the Jedi with this little collar here, and then it also gives me Han Solo vibes with the low slung blaster holster, the kind of white shirt with the vest. Yeah, I'm really digging that. The gumminess of the articulation is a problem, though. I feel like that would affect posability a bit. It doesn't look like he has any foot pegs, too. It's like super shallow. You'd have to drill those out. That's really rare, because Star Wars always has like really good foot pegs for their figures. Looks like they did that because they went for an ankle rocker pivot, which I think, let me check the body. Yeah, even my Andor here, he has a decent enough of a opening there for the stand. Interesting. So let's take a look at articulation on this guy, since obviously it should be pretty good, minus the gumminess. He's got ball jointed head, so full spin. You can look up quite a bit. You could probably pull it about as far as you need. And then down, he can't really tuck in his head too much. Shoulders, we can get a full outward. We can go down, we can go forward, spin. Not bad there, good shoulder movement. Another joint here, we have spin. It looks like it goes at an angle during the spin because of the cut there. But then he gets a little past the 90-degree angle on the bend. Really articulated wrist there with that spin, and then the in and out joint, which for lightsaber wielders, I always prefer this joint because the lightsaber being kind of at a downward angle, that's kind of like how I prefer to pose. Let me show you. Something like that. He's got really tiny hands though. But yeah, something more at that angle feels more lightsaber wieldy, if you will. Alright, so now let's take a look at the waist. He does have, I think it's a ball joint in there, but we can only really get a good swivel out of it. No up and down is really going to hold. At the hips, so we have a ball joint. Looks like ball joint, ball socket on both sides there, which he can kick forward about that much before it starts restricting, backward that much, and then out to the sides pretty decent. But again, this is the most gummy part. This is the part where it feels like it's sticking a bit and wiggling around. It's a little off there. Then at the thigh, there's a full swivel. The knee, we got a bend to just before a 90-degree angle, I'm going to say. And then obviously a full spin. And then we also have ankle articulation of it going all the way down that way, toe point. And then rocker pivot, which usually helps for action poses, like if you're doing kind of a step forward. Yeah, stuff like that. It's pretty neat. And for lightsaber wielders, Jedi, you know, you kind of want them in dueling positions. I know Luke does that a few times in Return of the Jedi, I believe, when he's fighting Vader. Let me see if we can. And it looks like he can double hold the lightsaber, which is kind of a problem for a lot of the older Star Wars figures. They're just too stiff, or the articulation just isn't there. But look at that. That looks pretty spiffy. I'm trying to get him to stand here. There we go. Well, he stood for a second. Alright, and let's take a look at that pistol, see if he holds that very well. Like I said, he does have kind of tiny hands, which is just kind of a vintage collection thing now. If we'll compare it to, like, here's my go-to Marauders figure. It's a 118 figure, and you can see, yeah, this guy's grip is like super wide, whereas his is kind of slender. Yeah, there's just a definite size difference there. Which, you know, probably isn't so bad for him, because he's got to carry these little lightsaber, this tiny pistol. There's the pistol there. Got a little brown detail on it. I think the rest is just a gray plastic. Could use a black wash maybe, or a silver dry brush. Toss that in. Let's see, get the finger in the trigger, and there you go. So I guess he's left-handed, huh? Either that, or he keeps the blaster on the other side because he's more of a lightsaber guy. Not bad, though. So honestly, that's all I gotta say about him. He's a really cool figure. I can definitely recommend him. I will point out the only downside I'm coming across is that gumminess of the joints, which is unfortunately a more modern Star Wars issue. And I'm not sure when they're gonna do anything about that. So make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell me what you guys think about him in the comments. Bye.